well. Right?
Yes, he does, and he sounds like Jason Mraz.
Wow.
So we do mostly corporate and a lot of weddings, a lot of festivals. We get to travel a little bit, and but that's the magical thing about Denver. People come here and they hear you and they go, "Oh, what's going on here?" So you give them the names of different clubs. Go check out these people. Get a Westward. Just just close your eyes. Stick your finger on the page.
Mm-hmm.
Go see them. You won't be disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Even the small clubs have amazing music going on. There's a new club called Lost Lake that I thought was new. And they've been in business, what, 5, 6 years?
Yeah, I've been seeing that. Lost Lake, and there's all these jams going on
They
over
got
there.
these great bands coming in from all over the country.
That's what I noticed. You know.
So I'm going out, check them out. Go and check them out.
So you guys got a gig tonight. Tell everyone where you're playing tonight.
We are at the Continental Lounge.
And what's
or the
that place like?
Continental
Is that a new
It
place?
is no, it's been around a while. It's a great little neighborhood bar. Used to be called Teddy T's. It's on Evans, just east of Monaco, about a half a block. It's a great little place. It's a real old time neighborhood bar. You expect somebody to go Norm when you walk in the door. And they got a great little stage set up, and people come in and they dance till the police come. And we ain't scared of the popo.
And so Hazel, tell me, give us the largest group you've ever performed in front of, and what is your favorite city to perform if you're not in Denver, if you're outside?
Oh no, you got to say New Orleans.
New Orleans?
You got to say New Orleans, because
New Orleans.
when you play New Orleans, you have made this. For me, that's the big time, because people know their music there, and you got to thrill them.
Especially for
home.
jazz.
Or go
too.
home. Do they tell you go home?
I mean, in one block you can find hard rock, classic rock, and I mean these are all original bands. You can find Zydeco, soul. I mean, down to the bottom of your shoes, soul.
Wow.
And you in there slow dancing, people sweating. It is awesome. Jazz everywhere. Some of the most amazing unknown singers, just like Denver. There's music out there, people. There's music out there. Stevie Wonder said it's the only medium in the entire world that can bring peace.
And I was going to ask you one other thing. Of all the big stars that are in, playing now, do you still get personal calls from some of these stars? Everybody asks. This is an up close and personal.
Well,
Hazel.
she said every
you got
time
to
Michael
spill your guts.
Michael McDonald
where's
comes to
Hazel?
town, he asked for Hazel.
Is that because he wants to party with you, Hazel?
Oh no,
He thinks you're sweet.
No. Yeah, when I say grandma, I mean grandma. I have 3 grandchildren. Grandma ain't partying nowhere. No.
This is up close and personal, is what they call it. Jesse's the one who says, let's get up close and personal with it.
Well, I was in Nashville, and I kept seeing this tall guy standing there, and finally he waved. I walked over and I said, Cap Mo? He goes, hi, Hazel. I almost fell off my shoes. I said, you remember me? He said, yes, I remember you. I met him backstage at Red Rocks. And we didn't, he was just there visiting.
And he just crossed paths with you, and he's seen you there.
And I got to play E-Town with him. He is one of the nicest young men you'll ever meet. Just a nice young man. You always wonder if the people you meet who are famous, if they're going to be just down to earth or really nice.
And there's some of that.
There's a lot of them.
And there are a few, and I have to admit that I've been blessed. I've not met a lot who are strange.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the people I've met have been wonderful. Herbie Hancock walked up to me in Snowmass. We're in the hotel lobby. I'm with my band. He walked right up to me and goes, girl, where you been? Blah, 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 blah. The whole band is standing there with their mouth open. And I said, Herbie, would you meet my band, please? He shook everybody's hand, talked to everybody. And he was there doing a reunion of his old band. And it's like, I've been blessed.
Absolutely. I mean, Herbie Hancock, one of the best musicians of all time. I mean, he's played with everyone in the book as well. You know, that's just.
Now, see, my bucket list would be to meet Stevie Wonder and Aretha Franklin.
Well, you know, he's coming to town, but you're going to be out of town.
I am.
So what are you doing?
I'm in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And what, did you get your tickets sold, or are you giving them to me and Jesse?
I put that thing on Facebook yesterday, and I've had a couple of people call me or email me wanting to know if they can buy the tickets. I just didn't know what to do when they called me and said it was something flash seats.
The flash
Yes,
seats.
What
yeah.
does that mean? Now I know what it means. So,
And if you put it up on Facebook, everybody will, answer those questions for you, which is really nice. There's a lot of people who know some stuff out there and throw it up there and ask questions, and
and
everybody
thank God,
answers.
because Grandma did not know.
She's calling herself the grandma. Yet she can go
Well,
up there
see-
and blast a tune like she's 18 years old.
Absolutely.
And the
Now,
lady is powerful.
My goal in life is to let go of this singing thing and to book some young bands. There's a couple of young bands I'm really interested in, and I don't know if you know it or not, but Herman's Hideaway,
There's a hotbed for it.
oh my God, twice a year they throw this big party for all these teenage fronted bands. School of Rock, the Littleton School of Music, the Broadway Music School. Some of these bands are so amazing. There's a young lady and a young man in Evergreen. They call themselves Frangelo, Franny and Angelo. They do all original music. They both play guitar. They both sing.
And they're hot.
They're awesome.
Do they have a backup group?
No,
Just them
well, every
two?
now and then they had a bass player. There's a young lady named Nalani Clisette who plays upright bass and electric bass, and she's hot on the heels of Esperanza Spalding.
Ooh.
She's from Niwot.
Wow.
There's a young man right up here in Superior. His name is Jacob Larson.
Mhm.
16 years old, got a 10-piece soul band.
Yeah, he gets down.
Now
right.
tell me here. Here's why I have Jesse in here. 18 years old. Listen to the guy.
This guy knows music.
Yeah, did you see who he's?
He knows
Did you
music.
see who he's rubbing elbows with up there? You've seen it. You've
When
seen
he
all the
saw
pictures.
me, when he saw me at that Levitt meeting, and he remembered me,
Yeah.
Jesse, I was so flattered.
Everybody
Because
said.
I remember when he was a little guy
Mhm.
with his parents, and they came to see the band, and he was so interested in the music. You asked me some of the most amazing questions that day, but the one I remember most,
Oh, let's see if you.
do you remember you looked at me and you looked at your dad, and then you said, "How long do you think you'll do this?" Do you remember that?
No,
And
I
she's
don't.
answering your question on
Yeah,
your show
absolutely.
here around the
There you
world. The
go.
world is listening to
And
this
I
one.
thought to myself, and I remember saying to you, "As long as God lets me."
Yep.
That's what I remember saying.
And now she
And
wants
here we
to.
are, yeah.
Now she wants to feed your pool of entertainment here.
Man,
she just
when I-
rolled out all these bands that are around
There are
Denver.
some, and you know most of them because you get
Yes.
out there. You get out there.
And Hazel, you can utilize this new medium, this world medium,
This is quite amazing.
to go out there and you can bring them in. You can have the Hazel Miller show and
Yeah, absolutely.
and have at it and introduce these new groups because we have the warehouse back there that's going to come alive with all this new music, and they can play live. They can log in and you can see them streaming live.
Well, now that we have this worldwide audience listening in, you know what? If you're so inclined to hear some new music, get online with the radio station, make a donation so we can get this building up and running and get some shows on the air.
Let's do it all around the world. I mean, you saw it. We got people in from Ireland, France, Spain, where else?
Hungary,
Hungary, Ho Chi Minh.
Ho Chi Minh City.
In that's Vietnam.
Yeah.
We covered Texas, Chicago. We
Seattle,
picked up a little bit of New
Jersey,
York,
yeah.
Florida. We've got all
Virginia.
Today, my brother's listening from Texas.
Wow.
My niece is listening from Nashville.
Big
My-
shout out to him. Go ahead, Hazel.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Yeah, go
to
ahead.
my brother Johnny in Dallas, to my niece Brandy in Nashville, my sisters Snooky, Carol, and Joanne in Louisville. And Snooky's real name is Mary. Nani. She dared me to do it. But I've got a nephew, Philip, listening all the way in North Carolina. I sent out an email yesterday.
Wow.
And I just feel that this is a way, you know, everybody is lamenting the death of record companies. Musicians are not.
No, at all. Because now independence, this is an independent radio station. We're not governed by anybody. We control
Yes.
all the hardware in here.
Yes.
We don't have to go through servers. We control our server. We can have as many people as we want listening. Now, the nice thing about this is we're interactive, which means you can come in here, interact, and get the word right out. We're not just streaming you music and and you're on Pandora, we are interactive.
Mm-hmm.
This is music you want to hear. This is music you asked to hear. And you know what? It doesn't get any better than that.
And Hazel's got she knows where all the good bands are in Denver, and she's going to be exposing them here.
Go to my come catch me on their website, and Jesse and I will answer whatever you need to know.
Whatever you need to know,
if
yeah.
you're coming to Denver, we'll tell you where to find the music.
And I really believe DJ Jess is an old soul,
He is.
a young body.
Your father described you that way.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
He said, Miss Miller, and I'm like, no. Miss Miller's my mom. and I believe him. You are an old soul, Jesse. You do a great job.
Thank you. And you know, that's from growing up listening to, you know, all these oldies and listening to you all my life, you know.
And Hazel, did you hear what he was throwing down, 50s, 60s? And me and you were looking at each other like...
We still got some of the songs, you know, up there. Aretha, Johnny Franklin.
Oh, you got
Temptation,
Sam Cooke,
Sam
Otis
Cooke,
Redding.
Yep.
Now, you and I looked at each other like, how does he know all this?
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, that's what I said.
oh, Little
And
Anthony
that's
the
just a
Imperials.
little taste, you know.
Oh my God! If I ever saw, if I ever met Aretha Franklin, I'd probably fall over backwards, and the dust would come up off the floor, and they'd say, "What happened, girl? She went down." I met Bonnie Raitt backstage.
Oh,
Red
Bonnie!
Rocks.
Wow.
Bonnie Raitt is one of my favorites. You
She
know, of a
is
different
the
genre.
nicest lady.
Yes, of the different genre. I love the way she delivers her music and her sound. I just love that, and I've
Now-
always liked Bonnie Raitt.
You know, you go up to Wyoming, and you know there's only about 8 black people in the whole state. So I'm standing backstage, and Mavis Staples walked right by me, freaked me out.
Wow.
So I stopped her and I said, "Excuse me." She goes, "Yes, ma'am." I said, "You won't remember me, but I met you in Minnesota a few years back. I was with Big Ed Todd and the Monsters." And she looked and she goes, "Seems like I remember you." And I said, "Miss Staples?" She goes, baby, I'm just Mavis."
Oh, yeah,
She shook my hand. We sat down. She was all that and a bag of chips.
Wow.
I sang backup for her dad in Boulder on an E-Town show
Oh, nice.
years ago, and we
Oh.
talked about that.
And Boulder is such a
It's a
really
hotbed.
gorgeous. It's a really gorgeous town to go
There's
sing
a-
it, and everybody's ready for you. You know, it's like
Well,
there's
in
no
Boulder, there's a lot of
holdback.
national bands that really, really kicked off their careers. Dave Matthews
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
kicked off his career in Boulder as an
World
opening
Republic.
act.
Mm-hmm. One Republic.
303.
Yeah.
Oh, 303. There's this crazy little inside joke when you work for Big Ed Todd. If you open for him, you're going to be a big star. Dave Matthews, 303, One Republic, all these bands started out opening for them. And there's some new guys that have just, Trombone Shorty.
Oh, I love
Yep.
He
Trombone
opened-
Shorty is on fire.
You know, I mean, he was doing kind of a good crowd at the Ogden. Now he's selling out.
Packing it out.
In
He was on
Colorado.
one of the all-night shows with Andy Allo, sitting in with I know Andy Allo, and he was just doing a fabulous job up there. And that's when I really got to see him turn loose.
He's amazing.
Yeah. Sheila E. just posted a picture. She just jammed with him the other day.
Oh
Yes.
my
With
goodness.
trombone, yeah.
I like Sheila E.
We just missed, and the gal who was doing the Sheila E., of course, Jesse put me in touch with her, and she just missed an opportunity for us to go stream it live of when Sheila E. came to town. She was
I
just,
missed
Yeah,
it.
she was just here in
just to
town.
talk to one of the guys who's.
But she's gonna come to concert in April.
Yeah,
So don't go out of town.
I'll be home. I'll be home.
And
Her,
here-
Jeffrey Osborne, and Evelyn King, and Mary Louise Lee's gonna be there.
Yes.
Oh,
And here's
Oh.
the sad thing is
Oh.
she was here for the guy who's going to pass away before he sees the concert.
Right,
And
right.
that's why she came to
But
town.
at least she came, yes.
Now we were going to stream it live, but the gal was doing. She forgot to call us, and I go,
Oh.
"You forgot." I go because this takes it around the world.
Mm-hmm.
All the other outlets here in town they just take you over the air to Castle Rock up north,
Right.
Fort Collins. And
but
so-
see, this is worldwide, and a talent like Sheila E. Oh my stars. See, when Esperanza was here, and I say that like I actually know her.
and that's who Andy Allo looks like.
I just love saying her name. She was at the Ogden Theater and did not sell out.
Mm-hmm.
That's a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. She was at the Boulder Theater and did not sell out. People do not realize that this young woman is about to be just huge. She will be one of those names that will go down in the history of jazz. And I'm always amazed that people don't know that Diane Reeves lives in Denver.
I knew that.
I did.
I did. I knew that big
She
time.
lives in Denver, went to George Washington, and I'll bet you Wendell knows her.
Yes.
I'll bet you money Wendell knows her.
Oh, you bet.
I have
Diane
met
Reeves.
her. She walked up to me at the Jazz Aspen, the Telluride Jazz Festival, and started talking to me. And I just stood there and I didn't answer. And she goes, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "I'm just trying to make sure that you're talking to me." Oh my God.
Hazel, you're so humble. Stop
No,
that already.
no.
Stop it already.
She is the greatest greatest living jazz voice in the world.
Mm-hmm.
She is the Ella Fitzgerald
And
of
tell
my
us about
generation.
in Russia. You
I
let us know that
watch it.
story here.
I always watch the morning news because I'm always up. And there's this huge report coming in from Russia, which is like evening there, early morning for us. And she's about to go on stage in this huge hall in Moscow, sold out. And they quoted how many nights. And she was supposed to be there for a week, and she'd been held over for weeks. And now she is like the most popular performer in Russia. And my niece that's in Nashville, her husband was playing basketball in Russia. And she said you could count the black people there on one hand.
Mm-hmm.
So when she comes to town, everybody from America goes to see her just so they can hear something sung in English. But my niece had not heard of her, and now she has become a Diane Reeves fan.
Now check this out, Jesse. She talks about all these other people, but she's Hazel Miller.
Oh,
She's the one and only.
The one and
Hazel
only.
Miller.
yeah, I'm a legend in my own mind.
She's one of
I was
the-
told that the other day. Somebody told me that the same.
She's
Give
one
us
of
the legend in your mind. Go ahead, Jesse.
She's one of the 150 people that make Denver one of the best places to live. And that was an actual award given to her back in 2008.
Yeah.
She's met the mayor,
She
the
met
governor.
mayors.
Did you know that the governor was one of the first people to give me a job?
See?
Wow.
I walked into his office with my 7-year-old son, who is now 35. Had him by the hand. I had no problem.
Wellington Webb?
Oh no, it was Mr.
different-
Hickenlooper.
Hickenlooper, okay.
He had Jazz Works next door to his brewery. I walked in with my 7-year-old by the hand, and I just started singing for him in his office, and he just sat there and looked at me. And when I finished singing this one song, he said, "Do you have a band?" I said, "I can get a band." And I started working like 2 weeks later, and I worked there regularly for 3 years.
Wow. He's all sold those off at
So
this
Mr.
point.
Hickenlooper is one of those people that is always, if he calls me,
You're there.
I just say, "Where you want me to be?"
So you see, and I'm not calling you Miss Miller. You're Hazel.
I'm
to us.
Hazel.
You've got that beautiful smile. You always smile at everybody. You've got the warmest heart, and you have the most beautiful personality that makes you awesomely beautiful.
Oh, you obviously do not know my ex-husband.
And she's funny.
Now, coming up next, live on KUHS Radio, Denver, Colorado, the Hazel Miller Show.
Stay tuned. Check it out.
We're UHS World Communications. We're on www.kuhsdenver.com. We're brought to you by GWIZ Computers. Stay tuned for Wendell Armour coming up next on Music Alive Show. So you make sure and stay tuned. We're having a great time. I mean, a great time with Hazel Miller. I hope you patched right in with us. We got knocked down off our stream almost 5 times. It was over 1,400 people logged on simultaneously, and the frames per minute just kept going up and down. So we're still holding up pretty steady. Because it's Hazel Miller, that's
Because
why.
it's Hazel Miller. You know what, Hazel? I can't thank you enough for coming.
Thank you for calling me.
When
I
I
was
called
so
you,
amazed.
yeah, you called me back, right away, and we got you locked in. And I just gotta say, like I said, I've been smiling all day, letting people know how much of an honor this is for me to have you inside the studio. So thank you so much for coming through. You're welcome here anytime with us.
Thank you so much. This has been a pleasure. And if you do not know, get the app. I'm just about to ask him to put the app on my phone so I can stay tuned in all the time.
Absolutely.
And Hazel, tell everybody about our new collective radio station, DJ Jess. We've got Paul Chavez, we've got Janine Santana, DJ Jen, Lenny Sports Talk Show. We've got Skip the Funktologist. We've got a lot of stuff going on here. A lot of stuff going on here. So with that being said, it's going to be a so long goodbye.
Oh,
I don't want to say
that's
you gotta
okay.
come
I
back.
gotta go to work.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So make sure if you got nothing to do, go and check out Hazel Miller and her band at the Continental off of Evans and Monaco tonight. What time? Showtime?
We are 9 to 12:30.
9 to 12:30.
We're
Check
playing
it out.
blues, funk, and R&B.
Good music.
Man.
You're listening to WWW-KUHS Radio here in Denver, Colorado. We're on the DJ Jesse Show with Hazel Miller. We're going to have to say goodbye for now. We're going to close the stream off. And Hazel, one last shout out to the world.
Bye. See you soon.
See you soon. Absolutely. Stay tuned. We're going to still give you